people, and by people I mean my wife. She claims to represent the people. I'd like to know the inside story of what it's like in the White House. You're one mile away from the President of the United States. Did the feeling the first time you walk in there change completely how you viewed your relationship with the President and what your role was in the political process?
Yeah, well, absolutely. It is, I actually remember the night he got elected. Before the Grant Park rally, I went over with David Plouffe and Robert Gibbs to his suite in the hotel where he was waiting for the returns. And I remember, first of all, how all the additional security that had been added just in the last hours, before that, and we had to pass through the guys with all the semi-automatic weapons and everything to get to his room. And I will always remember seeing him, and there wasn't this sense of exhilaration. It was almost as if he understood what had just happened and this burden that had passed to him. And, it was like he was enveloped in this aura of seriousness and sobriety. He was the President of the United States. I never called him anything but Mr. President in the White House, this guy who I've been friends with for years and years and years, because you take on this aura. And in terms of being in the White House, I never walked in that building without, I've been a consumer and a passionate believer in politics since I was a little boy, and every single day I walked in that building, I felt that it was an incredibly privileged thing to be able to work there. But the days themselves were just killing. I mean, you got in there, I'd wake up before dawn, or our first meeting was at 7. I usually got home between 9 and 11 at night. And then you'd read a little for the next day, and you'd start all over again. And it was, and every single, there's not like you can coast through a day at the White House, because every single day there are things that are enormously impactful that you have to deal with. It isn't, you learn more working there than you would learn anywhere else, because you have to, like, I didn't know a lot about pirates when I got there. Pirates.
Not Roberto Clemente.
I mean, I knew about the ones with the patch and the parrot and all of that stuff, but, I didn't anticipate when...
You mean the Somalian pirate?
Yes, okay. I didn't anticipate that we'd have a situation where someone would come to the president and say, we've got the pirates in our sight, they've got Captain Phillips, but the Navy SEALs are bobbing on the water, and they think they can knock out the pirates, but they might hit Captain Phillips, and you've got 10 minutes to decide, Mr. President, should they take the shot? These are things you can't imagine. You can't imagine deep sea oil leaks as part of your portfolio.
But it comes at you every day.
What?
It comes at you every day, though.
Every day, every day. One of the things, by the way, that I wrote about in the book is that deep sea oil leak, and it took a while for us to get it under control, and in the midst of this, toward the end, I got a call from one Donald Trump, and he said, this is absolutely true, and he said, that admiral you got down there, he seems like a nice guy, he says, but he doesn't know what he's doing. He says, I know how to run big projects, okay? That's what I do. He said, send me down there, I'll get this thing stopped. So I'm like, Mr. Trump, I really appreciate this. I think we're close. I said, so let's give this a few days and I'll give you a call back. So a couple of weeks later it was done, and I called him back and I said, I really appreciate the offer. And he said, oh, yeah, I know that you got that done. He said, but I got something else for you. He said, I build ballrooms. He said, I build great ballrooms. He said, you can go down to Tampa and see the ballrooms I build. He says, and I see these state dinners, and you got these little tents at the back of the White House. And he says, let me build a, like a portable ballroom that you can take.
This is the Trump White House we're going to have in a couple of years.
And I'm thinking, we're in the midst of the worst recession since the Great Depression. I'm sure the American people would appreciate us investing in a portable ballroom for our state dinners. So.